Hey everyone, so this is my review of Legion, Season 2, Episode 2, called Chapter 10, and essentially what this episode is about is that David finally meets his oldest enemy, and the rest of Division 3 is starting to continue to sort of question how loyal David is to them. And this was a really, really great and entertaining and so fun of an episode to watch, and just had so many, really great scenes to it. And I really enjoyed the whole side story with Carrie and Carrie, and the Shadow King did something to them that caused them to sort of change their abilities. So now the male Carrie goes inside the female Carrie instead of the other way around, and they're sort of struggling with that because that's not what they're used to doing. So it was so much fun to see sort of them mentally dealing with the fact of their life sort of changing and them sort of trying to figure out how to fix it. Then the moments with David sort of working to try and get back to the future Sid to sort of ask her more questions and stuff like that was so interesting to see sort of how they played that out, and with the female Carrie sort of having to take over for the male Carrie on the science part and that sort of little jokes there. But then once he actually got to the future, just everything about that whole sort of moment was so great, and I'm so excited to see how all that's going to actually play out if it does. Which is that it was brought up that when David killed the Shadow King, the rest of the world ended up becoming doomed in the future because of the fact that there was a new enemy that came forward that was even stronger than the Shadow King, that is just like wiping out the population, and that there are only like a few people left that are in hiding. And they believe that they need the Shadow King to be able to help them to stop this new villain. And if any of that actually plays out, which I really, really hope that does, I'm really excited to see what's all going to happen there, and it just sounds like such a cool story that I'm really excited to see what parts they're actually going to keep around. And then the moments with David and the Shadow King and them sort of playing off of each other while working together to sort of find the Shadow King's body, but then also David working behind Division 3's back was interesting, with the whole conversation between David and the one agent whose name I can't remember, and them sort of talking again about how this agent believes that David's lying to him, and David's sort of working around trying to hide that he is by actually saying, well, your job is to not trust anyone, so why would you trust me? And just that was a little funny sort of moment in there. And then the whole part where David had to go out into the desert, and that having a link connection back to Sid was really interesting to see how that all played out, but I wish they would have expanded on that a bit more than just sort of having Sid find this music box and then sort of near the end of the episode sort of bring up her saying oh, that music box was mine, and I really hate that you made that trick up for me. That I just felt like they should have elaborated on that more, which hopefully they will do in the future. Then the scene near the end where David and the Shadow King, the actual Shadow King, finally meet was so interesting, and I loved it so much, with them sort of having this battle of the minds to see who's stronger, or sort of the Shadow King teasing with David to see what he can do and what he can't. That was just really, really fun, and I just really enjoyed the whole conversation, sort of David working through realizing that he's meeting the actual Shadow King. And then the whole scene following afterwards where Lenny and the Shadow King sort of have a conversation where Lenny's bringing up hey, can I leave now? Can you give me a body so I can live my own life and stuff? That was interesting to see, with the Shadow King sort of reminding her of if I give you your own life, what are you going to do with it? And then what's going to happen once you get old and die? Where if you stay with me, you'll live forever. And that was just a really interesting conversation that I really enjoyed seeing, and I kind of can't wait to see how Lenny might play into that in the future, to see if she does eventually get a body or if something else might happen to her. Now that we actually kind of see the separate personalities between the Shadow King and Lenny, and not the mixture of personality that we're used to seeing. Then the ending of this episode was really great, with David finally sort of confessing to Sid the truth that yes, he is working for the Shadow King, and that he's doing it because of the fact that she told him to. And just how his whole brain sort of worked out with him being willing to actually tell Sid what's going on and stuff like that. That was just really interesting, with him saying I'm not actually revealing the secret because you told me not to do it, so you're the one who told me, and blah blah blah, back and forth sort of conversation that sort of worked out why he is telling her is interesting, and I'm very curious to see sort of what they're going to do from that point on now that Sid and David both know about this potential future, and like how they are going to probably tell Division 3, and then what they're going to do going forward because of that and stuff like that. And like, I'm just so excited to see what's going to happen next, and just overall this was a really amazing episode, and I'm just really happy with it. So yeah, that's my review of Legion Season 2, Episode 2, called Chapter 10. So yeah, bye!